So was this the dressing room that Elvis used?
No, upstairs, the second floor dressing room.
The second floor was the
yeah,
one that
when
we
you
went
go up to that, then it levels off and you go up again. That first dressing room at the top of the stairs was where Elvis was. And there used to be on Google Images, you could go on, and there was a photo of Elvis like this, with a brush, like combing his hair, looking into that mirror up there, but I cannot find it for the life of me. Maybe you can locate it.
I'll try to locate that.
Man, I tell you, my allergies are just so bad. Thank God it's not affecting my voice yet. Usually it really messes with me, but last night was fine, and hopefully tonight's all right. But
so many different venues, cities, small, large, were all at the end of the 1920s were so flush with cash from the Roaring '20s that they had these projects to put in these beautiful performance venues.
This was definitely one of them. I mean, this I forget the name of what this theater is called. It's like an atmospheric theater. They called it a certain name. I think it was like Atmosphere Theater or whatever. Because you feel like you're outside. You're in a pavilion or like an amphitheater.
Italian kind of.
Yeah, it has a name though. I'm not exactly sure what, but it's something like Atmospheric Theater, something like that. But you do, like we came here to watch The Wizard of Oz, me and Vicky, and we sat halfway back on the floor, and you feel like you're outside because the stars are twinkling and the night sky, is blue, and it's really, really cool.
And no sooner were they built than we got the Great Depression, and there was a matter of trying to keep all these venues around.
Yep. Well, thank God they kept it, because there's so many of these places that just fell by the wayside and got torn down, and they're actually talking about the Blaisdell Arena where Elvis did Aloha. They're talking about tearing that down, which I hope.
Yeah, when we went to Honolulu, I was actually surprised that it was still standing because it is so old.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you the story about that?
The fact that you got the private tour?
Yeah, I told you that, right?
Yeah. So tell them. But
it was so cool. Yeah, we me and my band, the Blue Suede Band, the band I play with here in Florida, we were doing a 12-day cruise to Hawaii. So we all flew to Acapulco, and then we sailed 12 days. Once we got in Hawaii, we got off the ship, and we had like 8 hours to spare. So we went, me and Vicky, my wife, we went exploring. So we went to the Blaisdell Arena where Elvis made Aloha. We're walking around there. It's obviously chained up. I mean, there was no way we were getting in this place. And I was so bummed because the person at the port told us that, on Sundays they do a flea market there. So it would be open. You can walk right in, pay $10 and see the arena. And so we got there, it was all chained up, the flea market was not happening, so whatever. So I see this little guy driving around on a golf cart, and so I flagged him down, and he started talking to us. I said, do you know of anyone who could let us in here just to peek? I said, I don't even care if I just put my head in and look. I said, this is where Elvis played Aloha, and we're huge Elvis fans. We came here, and I would love to see it. And he said, oh, man, he said, at this point, he was messing with me. He was just, he knew, but he was messing with me. He said, it's locked up today. And he just let me go for about 2 or 3 minutes. He said, but I do know the guy that has the keys to the place. And he started laughing. He had the keys on his side. He was the maintenance guy. So he took us in there, and he made us wait outside first because it was very dark. It's pitch black in there. And the Blaisdell Arena to this day has the same light system that they used when Elvis was there. So it's one of those things where you have to flip a breaker and you have to wait
a while for those lights
you
to
have
come
to
up.
wait for the You have to wait for the lights to kick on. So he did that, and I was peeking in, and all of a sudden this light red glow filled the arena. And like even now, like I get cold chills, you know, because I could hear like 2001: A Space Odyssey playing, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, boom, the lights just kicked on. And it looked exactly the way you would think it looked. I mean, it's when you step into that arena, it's like you're back in 1973. Like it's exactly the same.
Right. I felt like that when I went to the international show.
Right, exactly, yeah. And like when the thing that I noticed the most, and the thing that brought me back to Aloha, seeing it as you know the way we know it now, when Elvis was on the runway and he would walk out and hand out the scars, directly above the runway, there was this halo of lights above the stage, at red, blue, white, yellow, and that's still there, and it looks exactly the same. So, wow. But then the guy explained to us that night that they filmed Aloha, the kid that was there was this guy that was giving us the tour. He was there that night as an 11-year-old child, and his mother. He was right at the end of the runway with his mother, and when Elvis very first bends down and the lady puts the big flower red lei on his neck, that was the guy's mother.
Wow.
So he had all these inside stories of just things you would never know unless you were talking to this guy. You know what I mean? He took us back into the dressing room, which was no bigger than this. Elvis's dressing room for Aloha was no bigger than this. And it was actually pretty similar to this. It had brick. It was all brick, and I asked the guy, I said, what did Elvis have? And he said, well, we have record of what Elvis had in his dressing room. He had 10 Coca-Colas, 12 bottles of water, and that was it, and towels. That's all he had in his dressing room. So, yeah, it was so cool. So cool to see it. And especially from someone that was there, you know, someone that was actually there that night. It was amazing. All right, let's go do some video. If the hair don't stay now, there's no hope for it. I could be in a tornado on this. Yeah. Okay. So, if you walk this way, there's a very famous, very famous. Say hi, Karki.
Hey,
you're on camera.
Hi.
Hey, Donovan.
Karki's our keyboardist, and we got Donovan.
Getting ready to play the Polk Theater where Elvis played 1956.
Lead guitar.
There's Sean.
Fantastic.
There's Sean right out there. He just fell out the door.
And Sean over there, bassist.
All right. So if you walk up these stairs right here,
I'm with you.
Keep going.
There's a rail right here somewhere. Yep.
And you keep going.
Look at it. Oh.
There's a very famous photo of Elvis standing right in this area, looking right down the way I'm looking at you right now. And it's so cool to be here in this spot. I mean, this is literally rock and roll history. I mean, Elvis Presley, before anyone knew who he was, outside of Tupelo, Mississippi, outside of Memphis, Tennessee, this was the place one of the places that made him the infamous Elvis the Pelvis, the king of rock and roll, the rebel. And a lot of that happened right here at the Polk Theater.
Right. The show took place August 6, 1956.
1956, yeah.
And you said the very next day.
Right. Elvis played his first show, and then the very next day, the headlines came out in the local Lakeland paper, Elvis the Pelvis. You know, so in the basement of this theater is where Elvis gave the famous interview where he talks about, you know, I don't like to be called Elvis the Pelvis, but if they want to call me that, there's nothing I can do about it. That happened right down here in the basement, which I'll take you down there in just a second.
Nice.
And then if you walk right in here, Bill.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh. Are you guys naked?
Not yet.
Okay. This was Elvis's dressing room right here, so
really?
we want to do a video, yeah.
Just a quick.
So this was Elvis's dressing room, 1956. So when he was getting ready for the show, this is where he did it. And there's actually, right here where Karki's standing, there's actually a very famous photo of Elvis looking in this mirror right here.
I'll be darned.
Yeah. So he's like, right there.
Yeah.
But he's like fixing his hair. He's like combing his hair all back and, you know, doing that famous pompadour.
All right.
But this is where it happened, yeah.
Isn't that something?
Yep, right here in this dressing room, 1956.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
So, Karki, you're playing Elvis tonight. So
There you
show
go.
him how he did it. Show him how he did it.
Also relatively small
All right.
dressing room.
Yeah, very tiny. Yeah, this is 1956. And then down here in the basement is where Elvis did the famous Elvis the Pelvis interview. It's kind of muggy down here.
So this is just below the stage.
Yep. So right in this area is where the media was set up, and they did like a little press conference type thing, like not like they do today, but there was several reporters from the local papers, and they said, "What do you think of the local paper that just came out calling you Elvis the Pelvis?" And he says, "Right in this area, like standing right here," he said, "Well, I don't like to be called Elvis the Pelvis, but if they want to call me that, there's nothing I can do about it." So that's where it happened, right here in the basement. And it's somewhere down here. It's not here now, but there used to be an old piano, and there's a very famous photo of him playing the piano down here in the basement. So,
And we'll try to find some of those photos.
absolutely. So anyhow, there's a lot of history, a lot of Elvis history here. And at a time when he truly became the king of rock and roll. I mean,
Right.
he was just an unknown, I mean, nobody knew what an Elvis Presley was back then.
Right. I think the most famous photo was the one where he's leaning off the side
That's right.
of the stage.
Yeah, and we
he
were
had
talking earlier. There's speakers there now, but yeah, there's a famous photo where he's leaning down to the fans.
And he had to do that because there's a huge open pit, orchestra pit,
Huge
that he
pit.
could not go to the front of the stage to
I have
get
to not
access.
fall into that pit tonight.
Right. And this is the door here
Yes.
that accesses
To the
that
pit. That's right. Yeah.
So here's
Yeah.
the pit
Right.
that Elvis had to avoid, and he was right up over here.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. And it still looks very much the same. Not much has changed at all. Really. Cool place, man. Very cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah. It'll be fun. And what?
Thanks for the tour.
Yeah. How many years later? It was 50.
So 56. So we're coming on to
68 years, something like that.
Hey, Dwight.
Yes.
I'd like to introduce you to the house technical director who wants to show you something.
Oh,
and
okay.
tell you a story.
Oh, okay.
This is Joe right here.
Hey, Joe. How you doing, man?
First of all, welcome back.
Yeah, man. It's good to be here again.
Well, I think I saw you down to the RP Funding Center too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
so
Yeah.
we looked down there,
Not
too.
long ago.
But I was going to bring the signature, but it's locked up.
Was that the mic he
That is
used?
the mic he used.
Oh my gosh.
So
Look at that. That's the
one of
microphone Elvis used here
that's
at the Polk Theater.
that's one of two because
And I'll be using this tonight.
I wish. Believe me, if I could get a transformer for that thing, I'd
That
use
is
it.
beautiful, man. Look at that.
Could
So
you-
probably in that photo where Elvis is reaching down to the
I
crowd, maybe that's
don't
that.
know which show that was
It's amazing.
because the first show the audio was so bad that they
Yeah.
had to bring in extra stuff.
Right.
So we know this was used, but I don't know if that picture was from the show
Right.
this was in or
Hey.
the other show.
Is
Just
it
knowing
possible
he
for
held
Dwight
this
to
thing.
bring that on stage to show the audience?
I have no problem with that.
Okay.
I have no problem with that at all.
So maybe at one point during the first set, you'll maybe, because I don't want to keep it in my possession.
Well, I'm running a light board.
Okay. So is it okay if I keep it back here?
I
We'll-
trust you and do it.
Yes. Well, you know where to find me. I'll be in there.
Okay, there you go, guys. Okay, great. Another one. Great.
Man,
Guys,
thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
Absolutely.
This
Now,
is
here's the
awesome.
funny story about that microphone. First show, Elvis was doing Elvis.
Right.
He did the stunt, the microphone tip.
Yeah.
Tipped it over, brought
Right.
it back.
Right.
The stage manager at the time.
And that's a heavy mic too.
Yeah. The stage manager's name was Lee Gregg.
Okay.
Caught Elvis right over there and told him, "Don't you dare do that to my microphone again." That's the theater's microphone.
Right.
And Elvis, being as humble as he was, turned around and
I'm
said,
sorry, man.
"Yes, sir."
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So, and I
That's
knew Lee.
awesome,
I
man.
met Lee and I met his son, and it was his greatest thing when for Lee was when Elvis said, "Yes, sir."
Yeah.
He was that humble. From what I
And you
he
know
was
that
humble
when he
human.
played here, I mean, that was at a time when he was not the world famous king of rock and roll.
That's true.
Less than 10 months after
yeah.
signing with RCA.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
it-
he was just making his global impact when
Right.
he played here.
Well, that's the,
So that's,
the thing
you know.
about that signature that we all talk about.
Right. Yeah.
Have you ever seen it?
I've never.
I wish I
No,
could-
didn't you guys have it in the lobby at one point?
No,
Like,
we've always
really.
kept under lock.
It seems to me like I've seen it.
It's just a little tiny.
Right.
But when the Oak Ridge Boys played here, a lot of their band guys played with Elvis.
Oh yeah,
obviously.
Richard Sturban was his bass singer.
And they came to us and said, "We'd like to see that." So
Yeah.
we brought it out. They took one look at it, and he says, "You have no idea what you have there,
Oh
because
yeah.
it's not his autograph.
Right.
It's just Elvis perfectly in perfect cursive,
Yep.
and probably 2 inches by 2 inches."
Oh
And
man.
he's like, "That's not his autograph. That's his signature. You guys got something big."
Right.
So
He just yeah.
he
That's cool,
decided
man.
right up and right on the wall.
Thank you for letting me do this. I
Absolutely.
want to bring it out and you know.
Absolutely, and
And I have a girl who does podcasts. She's coming.
okay.
She has a very famous, actually, she has a huge following, and she's going to be coming. I would like to show her this after the show.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I
Cool.
said, I know
I'll
it's
put
a
it back
big
here.
band.
I'll wrap some stuff around it. So
If there's
it's not.
anybody that's going to take better care of that,
Oh,
than
dude,
me,
this
it's
is
you.
the holy grail to me.
So,
This is the whole.
I
I want
don't-
to show the band this
Absolutely,
too.
absolutely.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, Joe.
absolutely.
Thank you, man. Thank
No
you.
problem.
How cool is that? Oh my gosh.
Go back up to the second
Yeah.
floor.
Portia, this is the
Dressing room
microphone that Elvis sang out of when he played here. They
Are you
have it.
serious?
They had it in their safe.
How cool is that?
That is cool. Take a picture.
Wow.
We get some footage. Yeah. Cool. That is so
That's
cool.
Very cool.
Who's in here? Sean. The Polk Theater since 1956 has kept the microphone Elvis sang on.
No.
This is it right here. That's the microphone he sang on. They kept it in like a little museum they have.
Oh my God.
Look at that.
So cool.
Here, Sean, show it over here.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that cool? The King's vocals went through there.
Like this.
Hey, man. There it is. Reach out, man. Perfect. That's it. Isn't that cool?
That's so cool.
So
The
cool.
real deal.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
it, man.
I'd like to take a
Yeah,
photo with
let's
that
do it.
microphone.
Let's do it in light.
Okay. Oh yeah, this is good light.
Right?
Wait. Let me mix it.
Here, can I get a picture of the three of us?
One more. Okay, you
There it
gotta
is.
help me.
Yeah, come in here.
Yes.
Come in here.
I
Ready?
know, it looks terrible.
We'll gather around.
Okay, Sean,
Come on in, Sean.
come in some more. Yeah. Oh, I could turn
Yeah,
it this
there we
way, couldn't I? Duh. You know this is going on the book.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One
Cool.
more time.
Let's get more of the mic in there.
Yes.
There we go. That's a good one.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
That's some good history.
So cool.
Just wanted to share this with you guys. This is the microphone that Elvis sang on when he sang here at the Polk. They've kept it since 1956.
My,
Look at that. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
It's one of those big,
Yeah.
Schurs.
it is, man. How about
They kept it with his signature in a safe back there, but he said it's one of the first times they've broken it out since Elvis played with it.
Wow.
How about that?
Yeah. So I'm going to bring it on stage. I'm not going to use it, but I'm going to tell the story behind it. Yeah. Cool, huh?
Very
Yeah.
interesting. I heard about that. Mike, is this your first time here?
Third time.
Third time.
Yeah, I played twice years ago, though.
Yeah.
Probably 10 years ago, maybe. Yeah. Cool, huh?
That's something.
Yeah.
Johnny, tell me about that.
Boy, I did not expect them to bring this out.
No, it's nice.
I didn't even
treat.
know they had this.
To
My
me, this
gosh.
is even better than
Oh, this
the
is better.
signature.
Yeah, I've seen this. I've got a signature in my house.
Right. I mean,
This is amazing, man.
and the fact that you'll be able to share that with
Right.
the
And I
audience.
want to see if Dave's out here. I'll show Dave. Hey, guys. I got to show my drummer. He's in this, yeah,
Is he in the camp, inside the camper, maybe?
maybe.
He might be in the camper
Oh, yes.
itself.
No, it's
Locked
locked.
it up.
I don't know where he's at.
Didn't follow the instructions on the door.
Dave, listen to this. Come here. So, in 1956, when Elvis played here,
Yep.
this theater kept that microphone. They kept it, the same one he played with it all the nights.
Okay.
There it is. There it is.
What's your language? I'm recording it here.
He's making a
I'll have to edit that out.
Wow.
Isn't that cool? He'll go,
I'll bleep it out. Yeah.
Almost said something bad.
isn't that cool? How cool is that? That's the mic. When Elvis is down going like this to the fan, that's the mic.
Son of a gun, man.
Yeah.
So Dwight's going to bring that out on stage.
Oh,
They're going to let me bring it out on
Sure.
stage and tell the story about it.
Wow. Nice. Very super cool, man.
Yep. How cool is that? That would have been what, a Shure 54, 55?
Yeah.
So he played here 56.
56,
Yeah.
August 6th.
So this was
56.
probably a year old when Elvis sang on this mic.
Feel the weight of it.
Yeah, man.
That's a piece of metal there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of coils wrapped around the neck.
Yeah.
Look, you can see the microphone. Well, if you look, you can see the round mic in there.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can see it sitting right there. That's amazing, man.
Let's get a close up of that.
Yeah. Can you see the? I don't know if your camera will pick that up, but you can see the actual microphone set inside there. Might be a little hard to see.
Yeah.
How cool is that? You said that's the first time they've broken it out. Like, that's cool.
No, it is.
Let's plug it in.
It takes. Look at the cord. It's not a standard cord.
Oh, I know.
No, he seems
it's a different. Yeah,
There's a
right.
transformer you
Right.
need for that.
Yeah. Let's set it right here. How cool is that, man?
All right, half hour till showtime.
Is it a half hour?
7 o'clock show, right?
I got to get ready. Let me get out. That's cool, though, huh?
They're way cool.